Welcome to my channel. I'm so glad you're here with us today. What we're about to explore is something truly special, something that might leave you thinking long after the video ends. Today we're diving into a very unique and mysterious topic, messages from those who have passed meant for the chosen ones. These aren't just any messages, but rather they are messages that come from the other side, from people who no longer walk among us, but whose spirits might still have a purpose in our lives. The idea of receiving a message from beyond is one that intrigues, mystifies, and even sometimes scares us. But in today's video, we'll be looking at how these messages might actually change the way we view our lives and our deeper purpose. Life often feels like a journey with no clear map, and it's easy to lose direction. We're constantly seeking signs, advice, or direction from those around us, trying to figure out our place in the world. But what if I told you that some of the most profound messages could come not from the living, but from those who have already passed on? What if in the quietest of moments, when we feel lost or uncertain, someone from the other side reaches out, offering guidance, strength, or even a warning? The idea that those who have crossed over might still communicate with us can be both comforting and unsettling. It's comforting because it suggests that we are never truly alone. Even in death, the bonds we share with others might transcend the physical world, and their wisdom could still be guiding us, watching over us in ways we don't fully understand. But there's also a mystery and a sense of the unknown that comes with this idea. What is it that the departed might want to tell us, and why would they choose to communicate with some and not others? Is there something special about these chosen ones? Or are they simply more attuned to these messages? These are the questions we will be exploring today. Whether you believe in the spiritual realm or not, there's something universally intriguing about the idea that the dead may still have unfinished business, unfinished words, or unfinished guidance that they want to pass on to those of us still walking the earth. As we talk about these messages, we're also going to explore the notion of the chosen ones. Who are these individuals, and why are they chosen to receive these messages? Is it because they are on a unique path in life, or because they have an open heart receptive to signs and messages from the beyond? Some may believe that the chosen ones are those with an extraordinary purpose, those who will change the world in ways we cannot yet understand. Others may see them as people who, through their own struggles and journeys, have become spiritually attuned, able to hear what others cannot. The beauty of this topic lies in its complexity. There's no one clear answer or interpretation. Messages from the other side could come in so many forms: a dream, a fleeting thought, a strange coincidence, or even a feeling deep within. They might not be as dramatic as a conversation with a ghost, but rather a subtle nudge, or an idea that pops into your head when you need it most. In the next few minutes, we will dive into some stories, theories, and beliefs that have been passed down through generations. We'll discuss how these messages might be received and what they could mean for those who are chosen. These messages might come in the form of comfort, encouragement, or even warnings to prepare for what's to come. But most importantly, they serve as a reminder that there's something larger than ourselves at work in the world. Before we get started with the deeper parts of this exploration, I'd like to ask you for a favour. If this idea intrigues you as much as it intrigues me, please take a moment to like this video, share it with your friends and family, and subscribe to my channel so you never miss out on any future videos that dive deep into these kinds of mysterious and profound topics. You don't want to miss what's coming up next, so make sure you stay connected with us as we continue exploring the mysteries of life, death, and everything in between. Let's get started. In every corner of the world, across countless cultures and religions, the concept of life after death holds a significant place. The belief that those who have passed on can communicate with the living is not something new. It's a theme woven through the fabric of human history, appearing in ancient texts, folklore, and spiritual teachings. From the most ancient civilizations to modern spiritual practices, people have long believed in the possibility of communication between the living and the dead. In many traditions, death is not seen as the end, but as a transition into another realm, another existence. And in this realm, the spirits of the departed are thought to retain a certain presence, a certain ability to reach out to those they left behind. These messages from the afterlife can come in many forms: dreams, visions, signs, or even unexpected coincidences. In some cultures, the departed are seen as spiritual guides offering wisdom warnings and blessings to those still living. In others, they may serve as protectors or messengers tasked with conveying important lessons to those who remain. One of the most common ways the deceased are believed to communicate with the living is through dreams. In many traditions, dreams are seen as a bridge between the physical world and the spiritual realm. People often report receiving messages from loved ones who have passed on, offering advice or reassurance during times of difficulty. In some cultures, these dreams are considered sacred, viewed as direct messages from the afterlife. For example, in many Native American traditions, it's believed that dreams are a place where the spirit world and the physical world converge. Elders are often said to visit their loved ones in dreams, passing on wisdom, guidance, and even prophecies. In these cultures, dreams are seen not only as a form of personal reflection, but as a vital way in which the deceased continue to be involved in the lives of those they loved. In other religious traditions, such as Christianity, there is also a belief in the possibility of messages from the departed. In the Bible, there are multiple instances where spirits or angels communicate with the living. One of the most famous examples is the story of the Witch of Endor, where the spirit of the prophet Samuel is called upon to speak to King Saul. Although this story is often interpreted as a cautionary tale, it also reflects the broader belief that the deceased have the ability to convey messages to the living. Many Christians believe that saints, angels, and even deceased loved ones can intercede on behalf of the living, offering prayers, guidance, and comfort from the other side. The Catholic Church, for example, has a long tradition of venerating saints who are believed to have special access to God, and through them to the spirits of the departed. The ancient Egyptians, known for their profound beliefs in the afterlife, also believed in the possibility of communication with the dead. In their view, death was not an end, but a continuation of existence in the afterlife, a realm known as the duat. The deceased were believed to travel through this realm undergoing trials before entering the field of reeds, a place of eternal peace. But even in this afterlife, the deceased were thought to be able to interact with the living world, offering protection and guidance. The ancient Egyptians believed in the power of rituals, prayers, and offerings to maintain a connection with the dead, ensuring that their ancestors remained part of the community even after death. In Eastern traditions, such as Buddhism and Hinduism, there is also a belief in communication with the deceased, though it is often viewed as a more subtle or indirect interaction. In Buddhism, for example, the concept of reincarnation and the continuous cycle of life and death plays a significant role in how the deceased are viewed. The souls of the departed are believed to go through cycles of rebirth, but during the period between death and rebirth, they can still influence the living. Offerings and prayers made for the deceased are believed to help guide the soul to a better rebirth. In Hinduism, ancestors are honoured through rituals known as shraddha, in which food, prayers, and offerings are made to ensure the well-being of the deceased in their spiritual journey. While direct communication with the dead may not be the primary focus of these traditions, the idea that the living and the dead are interconnected through cycles of life, death, and rebirth is deeply ingrained in the spiritual practices of these cultures. Even in modern times, there are countless stories of people claiming to have received messages from the departed. These messages come in various forms: unexpected signs, strange occurrences, or sudden feelings of connection. Some individuals believe they receive direct communication through mediums or psychic channels, while others may experience more subtle signs, such as finding a particular object that reminds them of a loved one, or hearing a song that triggers a memory of the deceased. In the world of paranormal research, many people claim to have had experiences with ghosts or spirits, where the deceased seem to reach out conveying messages of love, warning, or even closure. These experiences, while often controversial, have persisted for centuries, with people from all walks of life reporting similar encounters. One of the most famous stories of posthumous communication is the case of the Sully encounter in the 1970s. A woman named Ruth Sully, who had recently lost her husband, began to experience a series of strange occurrences. She would find pennies in her home in unusual places, often in spots where they had no reason to be. As the occurrences continued, she came to believe that these pennies were messages from her husband, left to reassure her that he was still with her in spirit. For Ruth, the pennies served as a reminder that death did not sever the connection between her and her loved one. This is just one example of a phenomenon that many people claim to experience, a tangible sign that someone they loved who has passed is still trying to communicate. Similarly, many people report experiences of receiving messages from loved ones through dreams. One particularly moving example is the story of a woman named Elizabeth, who lost her father when she was a young child. For years she grieved his passing and wished she could have more time with him. One night she dreamed of her father. In the dream, he appeared healthy and happy, and they shared a long conversation. At the end of the dream, he told her he would always be with her, no matter where she went. Elizabeth awoke with a sense of peace and comfort, as if her father had truly reached out to her from the afterlife, offering reassurance and love. These stories, while deeply personal, share a common thread. They reflect the idea that death does not sever the bonds between the living and the departed. Whether through dreams, signs, or other experiences, people often report a sense of connection with their loved ones after they have passed. This raises an important question. Could those who have passed leave messages for the living, especially for those with greater missions in life? In many spiritual traditions, there is the belief that certain individuals are chosen for a higher purpose, a mission they must fulfill in their lifetime. These chosen ones are often seen as individuals who are destined to make a significant impact on the world, whether through leadership, creativity, service, or spiritual guidance. It is believed that these individuals are more attuned to the spiritual realm and therefore more likely to receive messages from those who have passed. In this context, the messages from the deceased are not just random, they are seen as part of a larger spiritual plan guiding the chosen ones toward their true purpose. For example, many religious traditions speak of prophets or spiritual leaders who are said to have received divine messages from the afterlife or from higher spiritual beings. These individuals are believed to be chosen to deliver messages to the living, often with profound implications for society and the world. Could it be that those who are chosen for a higher purpose are more likely to receive these messages from the deceased as part of their spiritual journey? This is a question that has intrigued many for centuries. In conclusion, the idea of communication between the living and the dead is a deeply ingrained belief in many cultures and religions around the world. Whether through dreams, signs, or direct encounters, people have long believed that the deceased can send messages to the living, offering guidance, warnings, or reassurance. But the question remains, could those who have passed leave messages specifically for the living, especially for those with greater missions in life? The answer is not simple, but one thing is clear. The connection between the living and the dead, the seen and the unseen, is far more complex than we may have ever imagined. And for those who are open to receiving these messages, there may be a deeper purpose behind every communication from the afterlife. When we think about those who have passed on, it's easy to picture them as simply existing in a distant realm detached from the living world. However, throughout history, there has been a belief that certain individuals are not only able to communicate with the living, but that these messages are intended for those who are deemed to be the chosen ones. The concept of the chosen ones has existed in various forms across different cultures and belief systems, but it generally refers to individuals who are destined to play a special role in the world, individuals who are meant to fulfill a greater purpose or those whose lives carry a profound responsibility. These individuals are often believed to possess unique abilities or qualities that set them apart, making them capable of receiving and acting on messages that come from the afterlife. The chosen ones are often depicted as individuals who have been selected by a higher power or force to carry out a specific mission or purpose. This can manifest in many different ways. Some are thought to be spiritual leaders, Others may be extraordinary individuals with an inherent sense of justice, wisdom, or vision. In many belief systems, the chosen ones are seen as the bearers of light in a world that often feels dark and confusing. They are individuals whose lives are not just personal journeys, but part of a larger cosmic plan that reaches beyond their own understanding. These individuals are often called upon to guide others, bring about positive change, or carry the weight of societal responsibility. And often the messages they receive, whether from the departed or through other forms of spiritual insight, are meant to help them fulfill these great tasks. In many cultures, the chosen ones are not just lucky or fortunate. They are believed to have been prepared for their role, often through difficult or painful life experiences. Their trials and tribulations are seen as the tools that have forged them into the people they are meant to be, individuals who have a unique sensitivity to the spiritual realm. This heightened sensitivity makes them more open to receiving messages from the deceased, as they are able to perceive the subtleties of the unseen world. The messages from the departed are believed to guide, warn, and encourage the chosen ones, offering them the insight they need to move forward on their path. The concept of the chosen ones often involves the idea that these individuals have been marked by fate or divine will to fulfill a special destiny. In many traditions, the chosen ones are depicted as people who carry a heavy responsibility not only for their own lives but for the lives of others. These individuals are often considered to be leaders or visionaries, and they may be chosen to carry out a specific task, whether it be leading a spiritual movement, bringing about social change, or fulfilling a larger cosmic role. The messages they receive from the departed are meant to reinforce their purpose, give them the strength to face challenges, and guide them in fulfilling their destiny. In some cases, the messages from the departed are directly related to the chosen one's life mission. For instance, there are stories of individuals who have received direct spiritual guidance that help them navigate difficult situations or take important steps toward fulfilling their purpose. These messages often come at pivotal moments in the chosen one's journey when they are at a crossroads or facing a difficult decision. Their messages may offer comfort, provide clarity, or deliver a warning about a future challenge that lies ahead. These messages are not just random, they are thought to be carefully timed and meant to give the chosen one the insight they need at the right moment. One of the most famous stories of a chosen one receiving messages from the departed is the story of Joan of Arc. Joan, a young peasant girl from France, is said to have received visions and messages from saints and angels, including the departed souls of French heroes. These messages guided her in her mission to lead the French army to victory in the 100 Years' War. Joan's visions were considered divine and were interpreted as messages from God sent through the spirits of those who had passed on. Her ability to receive these messages, which were often received in times of great distress or uncertainty, helped guide her in fulfilling her mission. In Joan's case, the messages she received were not just about personal comfort, but were meant to help her fulfill a larger historic mission that would change the course of history. Another powerful example comes from the world of modern spiritualism. Many mediums who are believed to have the ability to communicate with the spirits of the deceased have shared stories of receiving messages for individuals who are considered to be chosen ones, or those destined for a great purpose. One famous example is the medium Esther Hicks, who channels a group of spiritual entities known as Abraham. Through her, Abraham offers wisdom and guidance to individuals who are seeking insight into their lives and their missions. Many of the messages she conveys are believed to come from the departed, offering guidance, reassurance, and encouragement to those who are seen as the chosen ones. These messages, according to those who believe in them, are often filled with profound spiritual truths aimed at helping individuals align with their highest purpose and move forward with confidence. In the realm of paranormal experiences, there are numerous accounts of individuals receiving messages from the deceased that seem to be specifically meant for them, particularly during times of crisis or when they are about to embark on a new chapter in their lives. One well-known story is that of a man named Daniel, who had a close relationship with his late father. Shortly after his father's passing, Daniel experienced a vivid dream in which his father appeared to him offering advice on a personal struggle he was facing. The advice given in the dream was so precise and so in line with his father's values that Daniel was convinced that his father was reaching out to guide him through this difficult time. Many people who have had similar experiences believe that the messages they receive from the deceased are meant to help them in fulfilling their purpose, whatever it may be. For some, the messages they receive from the departed may not be as clear or as direct. These messages may come in the form of signs or symbols that the chosen ones must interpret in order to understand their significance. For example, someone might find a certain object, hear a specific song, or see a symbol that reminds them of a loved one who has passed. These signs may seem coincidental at first, but for those who are open to receiving spiritual messages, these occurrences are often seen as deliberate messages meant to guide or warn them. The message theme in these cases is often one of reassurance or encouragement, reminding the chosen ones that they are not alone in their journey, and that the spirits of those who have passed on are still watching over them. In some traditions, the messages from the departed may take the form of warnings. These warnings could be about personal danger challenges that lie ahead, or the need to take a different path in life. For those who are chosen for a specific mission, these warnings may be seen as essential to their ability to succeed in their task. In these cases, the messages serve not only as guidance, but as protection, helping the chosen ones avoid missteps and stay on track to fulfill their destiny. The messages from the departed are not always simple or straightforward. They can be complex, layered with meaning, and sometimes require deep reflection to fully understand. But for those who are attuned to the spiritual realm, these messages are often seen as crucial to their journey. They serve as signposts along the way, offering direction, reassurance, and insight into the deeper meaning of life and the larger purpose that lies ahead. These messages are meant to help the chosen ones navigate their path with greater clarity, faith, and strength. In conclusion, the messages from the departed are not just random occurrences or vague signs. For those who are chosen for a greater purpose, these messages are deeply meaningful and are believed to be part of a larger spiritual plan. These messages offer advice on faith, patience, and direction, helping the chosen ones stay focused on their mission and fulfill their role in the world. Whether through dream signs or direct encounters with the deceased, the chosen ones are often seen as individuals who have a unique connection to the spiritual realm, a connection that allows them to receive guidance from those who have passed on. These messages are not only meant to offer comfort, but to help the chosen ones stay on track as they fulfill their mission and make a lasting impact on the world. The idea that the departed can send messages to the living, particularly those who are designated as the chosen ones, carries with it profound implications. It suggests that these messages are not merely fleeting or coincidental. They are transformative, capable of altering the lives of those who receive them in deep and meaningful ways. The chosen ones, individuals who are often marked by their unique purpose or mission in life, may find that these messages act as guiding forces, helping them navigate the challenges they face and giving them the strength and clarity needed to fulfill their higher calling. When someone receives a message from the other side, it can have an immediate and powerful impact on their perspective. For the chosen ones, these messages are not just comforting words from the past. They are divine interventions that encourage them to stay on their path, overcome obstacles, and fulfill their greater purpose. There's an undeniable weight to these messages. They often come at crucial points in the chosen one's journey, when they are at a crossroads feeling lost or uncertain or struggling with the enormity of their responsibility. These messages can serve as a reminder that they are not walking this path alone, that they are being watched over and guided by those who have gone before them. The emotional and spiritual weight of receiving such messages can transform a person's outlook on life, giving them renewed purpose, resolve, and even hope. For example, someone who's been feeling disconnected from their purpose might receive a message from a loved one who has passed, offering them reassurance that they are on the right path, even if they don't fully understand it yet. This message coming at a time of doubt can reignite their passion and determination to continue their journey. It can serve as a reminder that the struggles they face are not in vain, and that the work they are doing is part of a greater plan, one that has significance beyond their own understanding. The chosen ones may feel as though they are being propelled forward, as if the weight of their mission has been shared by the spirits of those who have passed. This feeling of spiritual connection and support can be incredibly empowering, making the challenges they face feel more manageable and giving them a renewed sense of strength and clarity. On the other hand, messages from the departed may not always be purely affirming or encouraging. Sometimes the messages they receive may carry warnings or cautions. The departed may alert the chosen ones to potential dangers, missteps, or distractions that could derail their mission. These warnings are not meant to instill fear, but rather to ensure that the chosen ones stay on track, remain vigilant, and avoid making mistakes that could have lasting consequences. In some instances, these messages may come in the form of vivid dreams, strange synchronicities, or signs that draw the chosen one's attention to a particular issue they might have otherwise overlooked. These warnings can be seen as protective measures, guiding the chosen ones away from harm and keeping them focused on their ultimate mission. Take, for instance, the story of a woman named Sarah, who had always felt a sense of destiny, a calling to help others through her work as a social worker. She had dedicated much of her life to this mission, but at times she felt burned out and unsure of her ability to continue. One night she had a dream in which her late grandmother appeared to her. In the dream, her grandmother warned her not to take on more than she could handle, cautioning her to preserve her health and well-being in order to continue helping others in the long term. At first, Sarah was hesitant to interpret the dream as a message from the other side, but over time she realized that her grandmother's words were not only a reminder to take care of herself, but a warning about the danger of overextending herself. Sarah took this message to heart, adjusting her work-life balance and finding new ways to care for herself while still fulfilling her mission. The message helped her avoid burnout and continue her important work in a way that was more sustainable and fulfilling. For the chosen ones, these warnings can be equally as significant as the messages of affirmation. They offer clarity in times of confusion, guidance in moments of indecision, and protection in the face of potential harm. Whether the messages are encouraging or cautionary, they play a vital role in the chosen one's ability to fulfill their purpose. They act as checkpoints along the way, ensuring that the chosen ones stay true to their mission and avoid the distractions or pitfalls that could cause them to veer off course. The impact of these messages can be seen in the way the chosen ones adjust their behavior, decisions, and actions. They may find themselves making different choices, prioritizing their spiritual well-being, or taking steps they hadn't considered before, all because of the guidance they have received from the other side. The influence of these messages extends beyond the immediate moment, affecting the chosen one's personal life and actions in the future. Once a person has received such a message, they are likely to be forever changed. The experience often deepens their spiritual beliefs, increases their sensitivity to the unseen world, and strengthens their resolve to fulfill their mission. They may feel a renewed sense of connection to those who have passed, and in turn feel more connected to the world around them. Their sense of purpose becomes clearer, and they may find themselves more attuned to the needs of others, as well as more determined to make a positive impact on the world. But the impact of these messages can also shape the chosen one's actions in unexpected ways. They may feel compelled to take bold steps, make difficult decisions, or embark on new ventures that they might have previously hesitated to pursue. The messages they receive may encourage them to trust in their own abilities and in the divine guidance that has been bestowed upon them. They might feel emboldened to take risks, to follow their intuition, and to pursue their purpose with greater conviction. For instance, a man named James, who had always dreamed of starting a non-profit organization to help at-risk youth, had long been too fearful to take the leap. One night, after years of doubting himself, he had a vivid dream in which his late father appeared to him. In the dream, his father told him to stop waiting for the perfect moment and to take action now because the world needed his help. The message was simple but powerful. Do what you've been called to do. James woke up from the dream feeling a sense of clarity he had never experienced before. He immediately set out to start the organisation, and within a year it had grown into a successful programme that had helped thousands of young people. James credits that message from his father with giving him the courage to finally take the steps necessary to fulfill his purpose. The messages from the departed also have the potential to influence the way the chosen ones relate to others. Because these messages often deal with themes of love, compassion, and selflessness, those who receive them may become more empathetic, understanding, and supportive of those around them. They may begin to see the world through a different lens, focusing more on service to others and making decisions that benefit the greater good. Their actions may reflect the wisdom and insight they have gained from the messages they have received, and as a result, they may inspire others to seek out their own purpose and to connect with the spiritual world on a deeper level. Ultimately, the impact of these messages is transformative. The chosen ones are not only given guidance in their current moment, but are forever changed by the experience. These messages shape their worldview, influence their choices, and provide them with the strength, clarity, and support they need to fulfill their purpose. The lessons learned from the departed are integrated into their lives, allowing them to move forward with a sense of direction and purpose, knowing that they are being guided by something much greater than themselves. As we conclude this section, one of the most important questions to ask is, how can these messages impact the personal lives and actions of those who receive them in the future? The answer lies in the lasting influence that these messages have on the chosen one's mindset, decisions, and actions. The guidance, warnings, and encouragement from the departed help them navigate their path with greater confidence, ensuring that they fulfill their higher purpose and leave a lasting impact on the world. The chosen ones, in essence, become the living embodiments of these messages, carrying the wisdom of those who have passed and using it to shape the future for the better. So today we've explored a truly captivating topic, messages from the departed, meant for the chosen ones. We've journeyed through the idea that those who have passed on can communicate with the living, especially with those who have a special purpose or mission in life. Whether these messages are meant to guide, warn, or encourage, they offer a unique and mystical connection between the worlds of the living and the dead. These messages can serve as signs of reassurance, reminders of the path ahead, and powerful moments of connection with loved ones who have crossed over. Although this is undoubtedly a mysterious and mystical topic, it opens up a broader perspective on life, one that ties together purpose, faith, and the unseen forces that may guide us through our journeys. It challenges us to think about how the deceased could continue to have an impact on our lives and how we too might be called upon for a greater purpose. These messages, whether they come as visions, dreams, or subtle signs, carry with them the power to change the way we see our lives and the world around us. They remind us that there is more to our existence than what we see with our eyes, and that the path we walk may be part of a much larger, more profound plan. For the chosen ones, these messages can provide strength, guidance, and a sense of purpose, allowing them to fulfill their destinies with confidence and clarity. As we reflect on these ideas, it's clear that the connection between the living and the departed is something deeply spiritual and transcendent. It's a reminder that even in death, the bonds we share with others can remain guiding us and inspiring us in ways that we may never fully understand. The messages we receive from the departed may not always be clear or immediate, but for those who are open to them, they have the power to change everything, offering guidance, warning, comfort, and inspiration. If you found this video interesting and helpful, I would love for you to share it with your friends, so they can also experience these thought-provoking messages and ideas. Your support helps grow this channel and allows us to explore even more fascinating topics like this. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already, and make sure to turn on the notification bell so you never miss another video full of mystery, inspiration, and insights into the unseen world. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.